how responsible do you think an art form like a movie should be? Because even though there is like freedom of voice and everything, you or I may be educated enough to know that the movie is happening on the other side of the screen, but that may not hold true for most of the audience who will eventually get affected, influenced by, let's say, violence or stalking in a movie. So where do you think that line should be drawn when you as a filmmaker is trying to depict or glorify or support a certain point of view?
That's a slippery slope. You either have 100% freedom of speech or you have 0%. There is no such thing as you can do this but cannot do that, do this, you cannot do that. That's my view. Stalking is a problem, but in the most recent case of stalking that we've seen in Chennai, there were complaints that went to the police where the police did not take seriously. And that could have stopped a lot of things. Second point, out of all the movies that are released, we hear of very few people who are actually stalked in dangerous ways. Okay? Now, stalking again is a very broad subject. Yes, no means no, but for most of us, when we fall in love, there are certain ways in which how do you express interest, right? By either going after them and trying to talk to them or like kind of a thing. It's not like, like you put up a question where it said, I like you, do you like me? Yes, no. You can't do that. You have to kind of a thing. And an initial meeting may go wrong, but then something else may happen that's right. It may take time, and then this other person may realize that she likes you or he likes you after all. So this process of courtship is an extraordinarily complex human thing. So to put it all under one umbrella of stalking, I don't know, it's kind of a little disturbing for me, because there is toxic stalking, and where the guy thinks that either I have her or nobody else has her. And there is what I call benign stalking, which some of you may not agree with that term, where the guy or the girl is simply trying to get the attention of this other person. And if the answer is no, they'll probably go to the room and cry and then move on or whatever it is. So there are both kinds, to lump everything into one bad thing, and it's dangerous. Because at the end of the day, movies are fiction. And I think if people do not take away good things from movies, and I'm certainly saying that they do not, then it's the 1 in 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 people who are supposedly taking away the bad influences from movies. That's because of their own mental makeup, not because of the movies. Because all the other people sitting in the theater are not taking away that message. It's not like everybody went and saw Remo and Chennai turned into a nation of stalkers or something like that. It's just like it's not that. The movie, seriously problematic film. I mean, I don't deny that at all. But I'm talking about, what I'm talking about is, should a movie like that be made? That freedom should be there, because you're still talking about a piece of fiction, right? I still do not understand why so much, real life issues, like domestic abuse or whatever it is, they have a right to exist on screen, because we do witness toxic behaviors in real life. Why can't they exist on screen, right? Around our house, in our house sometimes maybe, we witness so many toxic behaviors. Like a lot of us who we might have witnessed people from older generations still expecting their wives to make them coffee in the morning or whatever it is. However, the wife may be ailing or whatever it is, she may not be well, but she'll have to get up at some 4 or 4:30 or something like that, make a cup of coffee. For me, that's very toxic behavior. Make your own fucking cup of coffee. Yeah? It's it's boiled milk and this one, It's but I have seen great aunts of mine, wake up early, they might have some arthritis or something like that, just because by the time the grand uncle wakes up, there's a cup of coffee ready or something like that. It's like an ingrained thing. For me, those things are also toxic, and those things should also be shown on screen, because it's not this is the only thing that is toxic. See, we are all very, very imperfect people. And I think those imperfections are what make us human. And if you don't see them on screen, if everybody, which is why the Ramayana is so boring and the Mahabharata is so interesting. Because Ramayana is like, Dad, you want me to go to the forest for 14 years? Sure, off. That is I'm like, hello, you have an argument. It's just say something. It's oh, okay, yes, thank you. of, that's like, what is this? I'm like, that's, you put that on screen, it's the deadliest thing of, it'll kill all drama. But if imagine Dasharatha and Rama really having an argument about, this is so unfair, I don't, like having a full-fledged, full-on fight, verbal fight or whatever it is, then the scene becomes more interesting. But that might also involve some things. Now, because we like to think of ourselves as so pure, and oh my God, all those unwashed masses are going to look at this behavior and immediately go and do that. I think that is a fucking condescending way to look at life. Really a condescending, because they probably have more brains, more practical, street smart experience than you. They probably got more girlfriends than you. They probably got more experience with breakups and things like that and all that. They probably write poetry, and I'm using the word they because you just said people like me who come from a particular thing. And I think there's no us and them when it comes to things like love, heartbreak, parents, issues, this, that. All these are very, very similar things. I don't think these are all very, like unique to only person born in Madras and gone to Bits Pilani or something like that. These are all very universal things. So if somebody takes one behavior from a movie and follows it through, you have to say, why did that one person do that? And why didn't all the other people who saw that movie do that? So I don't think movies have a social responsibility, okay? Because because once you go down that road, it's a very, very slippery slope.